I don't know what to say.
Let's go.
Hello everyone! Today we're going to be filming a video on how Korea changed us. We've been meaning to film a sit-down chatty video for a while, and Boksu sent me one of their beautiful snack boxes. So we're going to be munching on these snacks. There are so many in here.
I know, I'm so excited though.
As we cover all the topics that we need to talk about. I am going to be referring to my phone very frequently because the two of us cannot stay on the same topic.
She's been very nervous about starting this just because
we cannot
talk...
stay on one topic. I have some green tea happening here. And done.
That's so nice.
So for the first topic, which is fashion. For those of you guys who didn't know, Alina and I went on exchange in Korea a while back now. It's been a while. I was at SNU for 1 semester and Alina did 2, but because I've been flying back and forth.
Yeah, you were basically in Korea the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyway. The second semester though, she hung out with me at Korea Uni most of the time. So she is an unofficial Korea Uni student as well.
Yeah. I feel like before I went to Korea, I just dressed very monochrome and I didn't really think about what I wore either. When I went to Korea, I feel like it made me more daring with like colors. They are really good at picking tones of clothes. Let's say like a yellow colored top or a green colored top. They will pick a really elegant looking muted pastel kind of tone that just looks very pleasing to the eye, whereas in Western countries they just go for like a really bright cheap looking tone of yellow or whatever color it is.
Like it looks less aesthetic. It's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain unless you see it and experience it in real life. But in Korea, whenever they sell clothes on the street, each item will have several different colors. And I'm always stressing out because every single color option looks really nice.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's in Australia or something, I would just go for the white. Because
I think
the
I would
other
feel like,
colors
honestly, I'd feel like overwhelmed when I'd shop there because pretty much everything I saw was nice. Whereas here, I'd go shopping and then every now and then you'll see something you like. But then there, every item there was something I could see myself wearing.
And we were just talking about this. There's just something about the way that they dress in Korea where they can wear something ugly and make it look really good.
Like the filler shoes, they're literally called ugly shoes in Korea, right? That really chunky white sneaker. When I first got there, I hated. But then you see the way people combine their outfits. There's a way that they put outfits together that you wouldn't even think of. And you see it and you kind of get inspiration just like when you're on the street.
When you watch Korean dramas, you probably think to yourself, oh, that's a really idealized depiction of what life is like, what people look like and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like when I'm walking in Korea, everyone is dressed that well and has styled themselves that well and has done their makeup that pretty. There's just fashion inspiration everywhere on the streets.
And you can find good clothes that are good quality but not super overpriced. You know, any way you look, whereas here you have to really go out of your way to find.
I never shop offline.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just so expensive.
We basically only shop online now. I feel
Yeah.
like. There's so many like fashion trends that you see pop up there, right? You wake up one morning and you walk outside and everyone is popped on this like fashion trend and you haven't thought about it before, but it's really simple.
I feel like so many of the fashion trends these days around the world, people don't know it, but they originated in Korea. Like Korea did it first. So many of these trends that I'm seeing, I saw Korean Instagrammers do that like a year ago.
Like there's all these different trends that take a while to reach here, but you've seen it like years ago.
Yeah. Something else that has changed about me is that when I don't have my makeup done or haven't washed my hair, like I'll wear a cap. I feel like this is a very difficult thing to explain, but part of the reason why they do that isn't just to like hide their appearance because they think they look ugly. It's more like out of respect for everyone else who has to see you that day. Like it's like I will cover my oily head of hair.
It's more
so
like
that you
being
don't have
like
to
modest, right? As in being like, you know, I know you guys have put in effort today, but because I haven't had the time to or whatever, I'm just gonna put a cap on.
Yeah.
And then you indicate to everyone else that you haven't had time to wash your hair.
So I think that's like a habit that I picked up and I never used to do it. I feel like before, I don't know why, before I went to Korea, I like almost never wore caps.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like I didn't know how to wear it. I looked bold when I wore it. And then I just picked up a way of wearing caps now.
Yeah.
So I've started doing that. Next, we are going to move on to beauty. Obviously, Seoul is like a beauty capital. And I feel like I have definitely paid way more attention to my skincare than before.
It's again accessibility, right? Like it's everywhere.
Oh my god, so many beauty stores. If you are into like skincare and makeup, it's basically like heaven for you. I have definitely paid way more attention to my skincare because when you're walking in the street, everyone has such nice skin.
Yeah.
Like like if you don't do your skincare, you feel like you're losing out. It's like everyone else has spent these times and they have like this nice skin, like I should get it too. But it's just appreciating the beauty of clear skin.
Or taking care of your skin, I think, is like important, because you know, makeup doesn't work if your base isn't good, right?
Exactly. Oh my
What are
god,
these?
avocado red bean.
Oh my god, these smell so good. Oh my god.
This isn't something that changed about us, but I feel like I need to say it. In Korea, it's normal for guys to wear makeup. They don't necessarily put on a lot of makeup, but most guys, at least like younger guys, they will at least use concealer and they'll do their brows, and that makes such a big difference. And it's also much more normal for guys to use skincare.
I think that one's really important. Skincare is so big.
Guys genuinely take care of their skin in Korea. Like even if they don't use a lot of products, they at least put on something.
It's just, why does it have to be a gendered thing whether you take care of your skin or not? It's so bizarre. Even I kind of like had a bit of stigma about it before I went to Korea, and then you kind of go and see people just not even question it, and then you realize how dumb it is that you like that guys would think that it's not masculine to take care of their skin.
I
like, what is the correlation?
Genuinely met guys who don't apply anything because they just think that it's a feminine thing. Like it's something that only girls do.
But then again, it's like investing in your skin, right? Like when you're older.
Even if you don't wear makeup, like it's totally fine if you don't want to, like it's fine if girls don't want to wear makeup either, but it's like, take care of your skin, guys.
Yeah, the same way it's like not considered feminine to take a shower. So why is it considered feminine to just use like a face wash? Maybe just thinking it, like normalizing it is something that changed, at least about me, like it became less stigmatized in my head for a guy to be using like skincare.
Alright, we are moving on to mannerisms. The first thing I'm sure that a lot of you guys have noticed me doing already, but clapping when laughing.
It's so weird. It's so hard to like explain it to people who aren't familiar with Korean culture. But I had friends who would always be like, why are you clapping all the time? Like I'll always do the one big clap when something's really funny. Or if it's like you're laughing at someone's joke, you like clap a lot.
It's so funny because if you see a video with Koreans and people from another nationality in the same clip and something funny happens, the people who are clapping are Korean. I think they didn't know that it wasn't a thing in the rest of the world. It was just assumed to be normal. But I think recently Koreans have come to realize this too, that they are the only ones who clap. And then so now like we picked it up as well.
But the thing is, we don't even have an explanation for it. Like there's no explanation why people clap when they laugh. You just do. And you just like have to deal with it. And now it's like you can't even stop it. I feel like there's no stopping the clap. Like you just have to show your appreciation when you think something's really funny.
When I'm editing my vlogs, I like notice it too. It's like I'm always just
we're always just like this.
Clapping.
The next one similar to this is hitting people as well when you laugh. I'm like the biggest culprit in hitting people when something is funny, and I won't even like hold back. Like I'll go in for the kill.
I feel like I don't have a tendency to hit people when I laugh. I just clap. She definitely hits.
When people, I'll like start laughing and my friends will literally like flinch away from me because I'll be like, ah! Like whoever's sitting next to me will be like, I'm gonna have a bruise on my arm the next day. But you just really need to express it. You have to express how funny something is sometimes, and hitting is the only way.
Or like falling to the floor when you're
It's not like I did it before I went to Korea, like when I watched like variety shows and stuff, but I remember when I would, I'd be like, why are they doing that? And then when you go and you're around Korean people and you make friends with Koreans who do that, you just kind of participate in it, right? And then it becomes so normal that you just like don't know how to stop. Like it's not like we started it on purpose, and it's not like we weren't forcing it or anything.
Like, I don't think I ever picked up the hitting thing, but like for clapping, I like genuinely cannot control it anymore. Like I'm just like always clapping.
But you should start doing it. It's like good. It's like funny when people you feel like there's another way to like express your laughter aside from just laughing.
More ways to express happiness. That's not a bad thing. Another thing is what you're seeing exhibited right now. We don't sit on the couch anymore.
I feel like I never sit on couches now. Like ever. There's no point.
We just like can't. Like this thing is so useless, but like you need it here.
You need a couch.
You need a couch, but not to sit on, just
to lean on, like lean your arm on. So when I'm just sitting at home here, I'll be by myself and I'll just be sitting on the floor. It's not like the couch is full. You just feel like it's so much more comfortable to sit on the floor.
But it's like it's nice to have it behind you, but for like no reason.
Even at home, like my parents will be like, "Why are you on the floor? Like just sit on the couch," and I'll be like, "No."
It's like it just feels so much more comfortable to sit on the floor. If you watch any Korean variety shows, photos, especially the ones that follow celebrities around in their normal life, you will see them sitting on the floor as well. It's like no one sits on the couch, but everyone has a couch.
Yeah, you can't not have a couch, but you have to sit on the floor. It's just try it. It'll change your life.
Just try it. I find it really funny because like when I'm editing vlogs, I will like just watch us having this perfectly fine couch behind us and choosing to sit on the floor.
Even today, I was like, oh, where should we sit for this? And she's like,
obviously the floor.
Like, where else would we sit?
Well, we always sit.
Yeah, every time we're doing any, I don't think we've ever sat on the couch.
Yeah. When we're on the couch, we're just like lying down.
It's either like lying upside down on the couch.
Yeah.
On the floor.
Yeah. I think there's like one more. Oh, okay.
Okay, this one is like cringy though.
In Korea, when you meet someone for the first time, or not even the first time, like whenever you see anyone, like you bow.
Especially if they're like senior to you.
Yeah, if they're like, you know, very senior or like in a very higher position, then like you would bow deeper. But like even when it's like people that you often see, you always have to do like the head nod.
The mini bow.
Yeah, like you can't not do it. Like there has to be some degree of like
if you're crossing the road, for example, and you see someone you know, here if you see someone you know, you'll wave, right? Or you'll be like, oh hi, like that. But then there you'll be like, oh, and then you just do this like 3 times as you're crossing the road, and then you like keep going.
Like you bow as you walk.
Yeah. And then you just keep walking. And like if you walk into shops as well.
Yeah, like cafes, convenience stores. When you walk in, you're always like, oh, 안녕하세요. I don't feel the need to do it nowadays because it's been a while since I came back to Australia. But the time where like I just finished exchange, I was just like bowing to everyone.
Oh my god.
When I first went to China, because I did a semester of exchange at Peking University after my semester at SNU. When I first got there, I would just be the only one being like,
she's so polite. Oh my god.
I've controlled it now, so I don't need
Can you imagine if you like walked into Coles here and then like bowed up like the staff, they'd be like, what is she doing?
Yeah. But I kind of miss that though. Like it feels like you're connected.
Oh.
But another thing that I find myself always doing, I don't know if it's like a mannerism, but in Korea, when you eat at a cafe, you always bring your stuff back to the counter.
We do this still.
Yeah, we still do this because like it kind of just feels like it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like just clean up after yourself.
Yeah.
In Australia, when you finish eating, you just leave your stuff there and then leave. But then in Korea, when you finish your meal, you'll bring all your cups and plates back, and then that's just something that we haven't been able to shake off. That just still
just a politeness thing, right?
Yeah.
Rather than a cultural thing, I think that's just being considerate.
I still wish that we could do that in Australia without being weird.
I mean, it's a good thing though.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but it's just like all the staff probably think we're really weird. It's like, why are you bringing these plates to us? Like, leave it there.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on to the next topic, I want to take a moment to thank Boksu for kindly sponsoring today's video. Boksu is a monthly snack box subscription service that delivers an assortment of premium Japanese snacks straight to your door. So all the snacks that we have been eating in this video have been from this box. Which one has been your favorite so far?
I think this one. As soon as I put it in my mouth, it was amazing.
I really like these.
They've all been so good though.
Yeah.
They're all so nice.
Boksu works with local family-run businesses that have been making these snacks for hundreds of years, so each purchase is helping to keep their traditions alive.
Aww. That's so nice. Honestly, that's such a nice thing to hear.
Each monthly box brings you a hand-picked assortment of snacks and tea pairings curated around cultural themes and seasonal flavors to really give you an authentic taste of Japan, and you'll never receive the same snack twice. Your box also comes with a cultural guide that details each product's origins, ingredients, and flavors, and is shipped straight from Japan. You can get 10% off your own authentic Japanese snack box from Boksu and save up to $47 by using my code and link in the description box down below. Alright, now moving on to our next topic, we are going to be talking about language. I feel like this is something that I've struggled with the most. Where do we even begin to start?
Let me just explain. Ness is someone who needs to express herself in like 3 different languages. I can understand 2, but when she speaks in Mandarin to me, I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But half the time both of us will come up with certain phrases that we just can't think of in English. There's the category of words where you can translate it, but you just say it in Korean. How things taste or feel, I think we'll say it in Korean, even though you can translate it.
When something is delicious, you don't have time to decide which language you want to say it in. Like, it's just like whichever one comes out of your mouth first. And for me, it's like,
oh my god, hashtag bilingual, trilingual problems. And then there's the category where it's just stuff that isn't translatable, or if you do, it doesn't make any sense. So you wouldn't necessarily say something.
Well, like they make sense, but it's like
you wouldn't say
that.
You look like you eat well.
Yeah.
But in Korean, you'll be like, oh, 잘 먹어, and it's like, oh, thanks. Like, it's a good thing. Like, it means that the food was so good that I ate it really, like, well.
Like, it's like a weird concept when you say it in English, because like people don't say like, oh, you look like you eat well, or you eat deliciously. But that's not something that people say in English. I feel like a lot of the phrases not like can't translate, but it's just like it just feels weird when you say it in English, or you can translate it but it doesn't really make sense to English speakers. A lot of them are centered around food and eating. In Korea, there's such a big culture around eating and how you eat. I guess that's part of the reason why mukbang originated from Korea, because people like to see people eating well and eating well,
or
and
like deliciously, right?
In Korea, it's like a compliment when you say like, oh, you ate that really well, or you ate really deliciously. But then in English, like if you pay that much attention to the way someone eats, it kind of like there's like
a bit insulting.
It's kind of like a certain implication, not super negative or anything, but it just kind of makes you feel like you ate too much.
But there's a lot, I think, not just like in terms of words though, but just ways you express yourself vocally are different. For example, when I'm thinking, I'll go like, oh, like that. Or like when you're surprised, you go, whoa.
There's like the same vowels.
Like
then like with different tones. And they all mean something different. Or you could say it in the same term, but then in different contexts it means something different.
And when you hang up the phone, you go, And my mom will be like, you always like make this siren sound when you're about to hang the phone up. And I'm like, it just means I'm about to hang up. I'm giving you like warnings. There's a lot of different ways I think you just make sounds. And you just know what it means.
But it's just like nice that you can express yourself in so many ways.
I think you just express yourself a lot more. Again, food related stuff. And
definitely like a lot of it is like food related. And there's also certain phrases that the one that comes to mind, I guess, would be like 착한 맛 or 착한 가격. In English, it would translate to like
nice,
kind flavor. Or like kind prices, which like doesn't make sense in English, right? But to say like a kind flavor in Korean is basically like if you're giving certain levels of spiciness to food, the kind,
it's like mild
flavor is mild. It sounds so much nicer to say that it's the kind flavor, like the one that doesn't torture you, as opposed to just saying it's mild. Mild sounds like boring. This is another thing that I had like a lot of trouble with. It's not something significant, but just like enough to like impact my life. It's just like
it's impacted my life.
It has impacted my life. So maybe only Australians would get this problem. Just the term like Americano. In Australia, we don't use the word Americano. We call it a long black. And I feel like every other country generally calls it Americano or like something along those lines. And then in Australia, like no one calls Americanos Americanos. It's just a long black. And then if you want an ice Americano, it's an ice long black. I got so used to saying, because in Korea, when you order, you ask for like an ice Americano. Because like in Korean, it's just like ice Americano. And then I got so used to like asking for that. When I came back, I would go to a cafe and I would like look at the menu and be so confused because it wasn't there. Or like sometimes I wouldn't look at the menu and I would just like order straight at the counter, and then I would be like, you know, can I have an ice Americano? And then the staff would be so confused. They would just be like, what are you talking about? So that's like something that I've had to like make a conscious effort to change. Like when I'm ordering, I have to be like long black or a long black.
I feel like there are other things that are like that, but I can't even remember now.
The Korean language incorporates a lot of English terms,
but they kind of take it and then run with it. Like they'll use it in different ways or differently to how we use it. So when you try to say the English word, it doesn't really make sense.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it's just like impacts my life.
This is wrong. Everyone should learn what an Americano is.
Oh, another one.
Oh, this one is our new favorite word. We use it every day.
If you're into like K-pop or Korean dramas or just Korean culture in general, if you've like watched idols or like actors, actresses make like a video to like announce something, at the end of the video they will say like 많이 많이 기대해주세요. In English, there's like no.
So I think the way they translate it in the video is like
look forward to it. But that just sounds like not like not right.
It's so funny because when you think of it in English, like you kind of visualize someone like sitting like this for the next month, like waiting. They're like, I'm looking forward to this. Like I'm waiting for so long. I think it's a really normal term over there to say like 기대해주세요.
But in English, you know, people don't really like say it. So we like settled on saying please anticipate. If you look through our conversation history, like when we like text, it's just like I will anticipate. We will anticipate. I am anticipating.
I really anticipate.
I swear our conversations probably sound like broken English.
Honestly.
This next topic is school spirit.
Woo-hoo!
in Australia, there's not much of a campus culture. We just all go home after classes end. People just don't really hang out on campus as much. You just go to this uni, but it's just like
it's not
something that
you're
you want to like show off everywhere.
You don't really identify as like a something student. The application process is so different in Korea, and also just studying for your exam to get in is such a big cultural moment that when you do get in, I remember my Korean friend told me she got in and she went out with her mom and like cried and like hugged her, and like it was such a big thing, right?
Yeah,
and
so for her to get into Korea,
wow. So to get into these unis is such a big thing that when you are there, you want to really express how happy you are that you got in.
Like you're so proud. Like all the students are so like. Can you even use the word patriotic for school?
It does feel like patriotism sometimes, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And I think something that I love so much when I got there is that you have that college experience that I felt like I kind of didn't get here when I was studying.
Like, I love like the festivals. Festival season was so good.
So you have so many different events at uni when you go there. When I went to Korea, the two big events were Ypsilanti. So that was the big festival where a bunch of celebrities will come, and just the whole build up to it is so crazy because they don't tell you who's gonna come out, and you don't know until the moment they step onto stage. So when we went, it was Psy and Blackpink and Beast and like really big names who come out, and you feel that pride that these like really cool idols came just to like perform for us. Right? And then the other event is the Yonsei Kode, the sport festival, which is when these two unis who have a big rivalry will go head to head in a bunch of different sports.
And again, everyone's like wearing their college jackets.
So
and,
it's such a big event, and like at the end of it, everyone goes to one of the campuses and cheers until like 6 a.m. And it's such a fun experience, and you learn all these chants in Korean that are like singing about how much I love like my school and how amazing we are and how Yonsei is so bad, like, you know. And obviously like it's not like you actually hate the Yonsei students, like you all cheer together,
but it's just like fun to have that, like it's like fun rivalry.
Yeah, and just in general, having that Kode spirit and feeling really happy that you're part of that university, part of that culture, and all the different majors get together and they all know each other, they have their Sundays and stuff like that.
So there's like so many like orientation events, and then they always organize people from like the same major or all the like tongari, like the clubs, to like go drinking together.
Yeah, so
and
you
get
always
really close with people.
Yeah, in Sydney, people don't really come to uni to socialize as much.
Yeah, like I generally like do not know anyone
from my major.
Yeah.
But over there, when I would tell that to Korean friends at Kodae, they would be so shocked because over there, such a big part of your uni life is going out with your major for the first time when you're a freshman and meeting all your sunbaes. Meeting people is just so much easier and like more fun, and there's a lot of opportunities. I think that's one of the biggest parts of Korea that kind of like changed me, was realizing how important it is to kind of like have that spirit and be passionate about what you're doing, right? Like, you know, you would get so proud if you were in the taxi and the ajushi would ask you like, oh, what uni do you go to? And then if you say like one of the Sky ones, so you obviously say Seouldae, which is like the biggest, like craziest uni there, and I'd say like Korea University, and they'd be like, wow, you must be so smart, you're so amazing, oh my god, you must have studied so hard to get in, you're so amazing, good for you. And I'd be like like, you feel so good about it, right?
Yeah, and it just like feels really nice to like be like wearing the college jackets around. I had my like SNU college jacket, and then when you're walking on the street, you get like gazes of respect.
Yeah, you're like,
all the
here, if you were on campus and someone was wearing like a Youthid hoodie, I'd be like, oh, they just couldn't think of what to wear.
The next topic is miscellaneous, because these are all very random and we don't know what category to put them in. So the first thing we want to talk about is appreciating minimalism. I don't even know how to begin.
Basically, to sum this up, I was saying before, if you presented to me like a really crazily designed pink and purple cafe versus a wood cafe, I would pick the wood one.
Yeah, like
with
everything is white with wooden chairs and tables.
We'd be like, that is like the peak.
That is so beautiful.
Like literally, we go to a cafe that's just like white and has like a wooden chair, and we're like, this is art. Like, this is amazing. Beautiful.
And then like they'll have like one plant in the corner, and then like
I'm
shafts
realizing
of
it now.
sunlight.
Amazing.
And it's like, oh my god.
You realize a little goes a long way, and I think they know how to kind of do things in a way that are subtle but still really effective. They have that punch.
Yeah, for something to be aesthetic, it doesn't have to be bright colors or all rainbow with neon lights and whatever. Less is more.
Yeah.
This is really good though.
It smells so good.
It's really good, right?
Oh my god. So
Aomori apple caramel yakoi sable. I have no idea what that is, but it tastes
soft
good.
and chewy. Oh my god. This is so good.
It's so good.
Okay, next.
So another thing that we always find ourselves doing nowadays is like whenever we go to a restaurant and we want to order, we're like always trying to look for a buzzer on the table.
Because we both are so bad at flagging the waiter down. Like, we are the worst people at doing that. I don't know why.
If you've gone to a Korean barbecue restaurant, you would know that they have like a buzzer on the table and then you can just press a buzzer and then the waiter will come to take your order. Doesn't that just make so much more sense than having to like wave at them and hoping that
just
they'll
look into
in
the
your
corner.
direction?
There was one time we were somewhere and we spent so long just like
trying to like
looking.
make eye contact with the waiter so they would come. So it took us like 15 minutes to get their attention. Like,
but the buzzer's
just
so
want a
effective.
buzzer.
Yeah, and I remember at some like at some drinking houses, they'd have like a button that was like cold, and then there's a button that says soju, and then the button that says mikju, like beer.
Just makes so much
It's so easy.
sense.
So you don't even have to press the cold button. You just press the soju button, and
like,
you don't have
this
to
is what I
ask
want.
them.
Yeah.
They just come bringing a bottle of soju.
It just makes so much more sense. I don't understand why the rest of the world hasn't started this yet.
I know. It is like so much more efficient.
Next thing, this might sound weird, but like
Sounds
we
so random.
notice small heads or small faces. It's a really big compliment in Korean and probably like in other Asian cultures too. If you like tell someone, oh, you have a really small face, a really small head, but it sounds like an insult if you say it in English.
It doesn't even. It's not. It's just confusing. I had people who would say like, your face is really small.
Because Alina has a really small face, guys.
But I got really confused. I'd be like, is that a bad thing? Like, should I say sorry?
It sounds like it implies that you have a small brain.
Like you're not smart or something, right?
Yeah, but that's like not it at all. It's just if you have a smaller face, you look like you have better proportions. Your body looks more proportional, or you look taller.
Yeah.
Because your face is small. I feel like only Asian cultures have this concept of a small face being
a good thing.
Like,
or being a compliment. Just
yeah, I feel like
compliment.
most English speaking cultures, that's just not something that people notice. Our final one on the list, unless we have something to add last minute.
A big one.
But this is something that we just are not okay with right now. Like,
really unacceptable.
this isn't even like something that changed about us because of Korea, but more something that we really miss.
Yeah,
or like
or,
we
like,
don't understand
It's a
why
concern.
it's not a thing.
It's a concern we didn't really have until we got back.
Yeah. In Australia, cafes close really, really early. Or like they open really early too. But it's like they open at hours where like no one should be awake. So it's
or
really
she's not awake.
useful.
That's the thing.
Like cafes here open at like 6 a.m. where like no one in their right mind is awake at that time. And they close at like 2 p.m. 3 p.m. That does not make sense.
And
guys.
we just always have to get kicked out of cafes. I feel like everywhere we go, we just get kicked out because
they're
they're always there
closing.
after they close.
In Korea, the
Cafes close so late. We've been to
Yeah.
cafes, like we've sat there until like midnight. Like we've been there so late.
The cafes will generally open around 11 or 12. And I really love that because the cafes open at sometimes even like 1 p.m. I'm perfectly legitimate in my reasons for
And this
sleeping
is
in.
why she wakes up really late every day because she's still used to the Korea system. Like that's why.
The cafes all open around midday generally, and then they'll close at like 11 or 12 p.m. Why can't they do that here?
I know.
You know how people drink coffee to wake up? Shouldn't you be feeling sleepy in the afternoon? So shouldn't you need your coffee fix in the afternoon? So why aren't the cafes open in the afternoon?
It's actually so frustrating though.
I know.
We just get shunned everywhere we go because we just happen to be outside at like 2 p.m. and then no one is open. But it's not just cafes though, like even just shops and like everything.
Oh, yeah.
In general, like shops here closed really early, whereas we'd go shopping at like 10:30 or whatever. Like after dinner you can go shopping.
Oh,
like
I
that would be
miss
so
that.
nice. Yeah. This is something we're very passionate about.
Yeah.
Night owls deserve rights.
Exactly.
Start a petition.
Yeah.
Tell Scott Morrison we need to. This is important. It's like a national issue. Honestly, it's so
Yeah.
frustrating. Though. I feel like you can't do anything, especially like on weekdays after work. You just can't do anything.
I feel like this video is like a combination of us talking about how we change
And then just
and
what
then
we
just
miss.
like stuff that we miss. Anything else you want to add last minute
Um,
before we end this video?
Just in general, I feel like it changes in good ways. I think that's the conclusion of it.
That's a conclusion. I really hope you guys enjoyed us rambling on.
Yeah, I hope we made sense.
I really hope this video makes sense. If not, there's nothing I can do about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.